this video, I'm going to talk about a few negative things about the Mavic 5 Pro, 5 reasons why you might want to avoid the Mavic 4 Pro. Did I say 5? I don't know. Mavic 4 Pro, 5 reasons to avoid it. At the same time I uploaded this video, I also uploaded a video, if you haven't seen it yet, 5 reasons why you might want to get the Mavic 4 Pro. But this one's going to be the negative version of the video, and I got a couple things that I do need to get off my mind. Before I begin, real quick, my name is Kris Luckenbach. I'm a wildlife photographer and professional drone pilot here in beautiful Kodiak Island, Alaska. And I make videos like this to inspire you to get out, chase your dreams, or maybe learn something about the Mavic 4 Pro, learn wildlife, show off Alaska, show off Kodiak Island. Let's get right into this video. First thing I want to talk about is the fact that this drone handles really good in high winds unless you're flying with the gimbal looking straight down. I had a few issues when the gimbal was looking straight down in heavy winds. When I was flying, gimbal would jerk up because what happens is when the camera is looking straight down and the drone is flying, if it needs to compensate for the wind, there's a limit on how far the gimbal can tilt down. So if the drone has to compensate, it throws the gimbal up and ruins your shot. It's really aggravating. I was trying to get like this 15-second clip of the beach down below on this windy day. It looked really cool, the waves crashing, really nice and blue moods. I kept flying left and right and the gimbal would just jerk up, and gimbal's just got some limiting issues. That brings me to number 2 reason why you might want to avoid this is it has the true vertical, which is actually really nice. It's not as bad as some people say, because you not only get the 28mm lens with true vertical, but the 70mm lens and the 168mm lens with true vertical, which is really nice because there are some situations where you can't fly too far behind, so you can't crop in, but you can flip that to vertical for some Instagram reels. And I captured some really cool shots the other day at this bunker in Chiniak, which was really nice. So it can be nice, but the limiting factor is 2 things. One, when the drone is in vertical mode, it can only tilt like 7 to 10 degrees up and down, so you can't get the perfect composition that you want. And that's an issue in my own opinion. We got some birds flying over here. It can't tilt up and down, which definitely can ruin your composition. But a bigger issue that I've noticed is the drone can only fly so fast when it's in a vertical mode, because what happens is, since the gimbal is limited, drone basics here are when you're flying forward or backwards, the drone tilts down like that or tilts up like that to go backwards. And what can be really frustrating is if you're trying to go forward, the drone needs to tilt down. Well, this is as far as it can go without maxing out the gimbal angle. So to restrict the gimbal angle from getting jerked around, they restrict the speed on how fast the drone can go in vertical mode, which is really, really slow. I'm gonna say it's like 5 miles an hour. It might not be that slow, but it's really, really slow. I mean, you could tell it's slower than cinematic mode, I think, flying, going forward and backwards. Going left and right, it's not that limiting, but going forward and backwards when the drone tilts, you're hitting that gimbal angle. And the next limiting feature is something that probably everyone has talked about, and that's the 28mm lens on the widest aspect of this drone. The widest focal length is 28mm. And I'm not gonna lie, 28mm is actually really, really beautiful for flying your drones. It can be really, really nice. I do like it a lot. But the issue is, there are times where you need to crop out to 20mm because there could be trees or buildings behind you and you can only go so far. And if you're limited to how far you can go behind you, you'll probably not be able to get your whole scene captured. So you might need to go back to the Mavic 3 Pro at 24mm or the Air 3S at 20mm, which would be really nice. They gave us 6K on this drone, so they could have easily gave us 20mm. We could crop into 28mm, crop into 24, crop into 35 without losing much quality. And they gave us that 28mm It's nice, but there are limiting features or factors to having a 28mm lens on a drone. You're just gonna miss some shots. You might have to go to Pano mode for photos. For videos, you're just kind of SOL. All right, one of the next downsides to the Mavic 4 Pro is probably something that, well, it's definitely gonna be something that gets resolved. I don't know if it's Lightroom that hasn't updated their color profiles for the Mavic 4 Pro Hasselblad camera, or if it's DJI that needs to update it so Lightroom can detect it. But right now, there's no profile in the Adobe color profile section. So I noticed it's kind of hard to get the colors I want. It's a little more tinted green or magenta, and I really have to fine tune some of the calibration tools, which can be a little bit frustrating and limiting to editing photos. It definitely adds a few extra minutes to my photo editing. But I know the Mavic 3 Pro had this issue. It was really, really frustrating. So I assume this is gonna be something resolved. Maybe by the time you see this video, I don't know. If you're trying to edit photos, you might notice the colors aren't perfect. You have to do a little bit of fine tuning, and it's not a big deal, but it definitely holds me back personally from getting to the next photo to edit. And then finally, the biggest issue with the Mavic 4 Pro is, you guessed it, the availability in the United States. And not just the drone. We'll get to the next part in a second. The drone is not available in the United States. I was lucky enough to pre-order this through Adorama. Adorama shipped it to me, so I didn't do anything weird to get this. I didn't pay someone, you know, from the UK to send this over to me or anything. I pre-ordered it through Adorama. They shipped it to me. With that being said, since the drone's not released in the United States, there's no DJI Care Refresh for the Mavic 4 Pro. So if I crash the drone, which I technically did already, I might be really screwed if the drone decides to break and I'd have to get it repaired, because there's no repair, there's no replacement right now in the United States. The next thing that sucks about the availability is I still don't have an ND filter. I don't know why they can't release a drone with ND filters, at least your standard 8, 16, 32, and 64. That would be really nice. They also have the electronic ND filter that I cannot wait to get. That's the one I'm gonna buy if they both come out at the same time. I know a couple creators got the electronic ND, but they're not talking about it. There's probably some issues in the coloring at higher ND stops, but I wish I had a ND filter for this. I don't know why they can't make them so long. I wish like at least some companies can get them out like within a week or so, but it's been 2 weeks. Nothing available. All the ND filters like from Polar Pro or Freewheel say availability mid to the end of June. If you want extra batteries, if you want the RC2 Pro, like this controller right here, which can also fly with the DJI Air 3S, Air 3, and the Mini 4 Pro, as well as the Mavic 4 Pro. If you wanted that, well, you can't get that unless you get the creator combo right now. You can't get any accessories. If you need a new gimbal cover, you can't get it. If you need more batteries, you can't get batteries right now. Maybe by the time you watch this video, a lot of these issues will get resolved. I don't think the gimbal tilt issues are gonna get resolved, but yeah, I got everything done and I have 2% left on this camera that I'm recording with. So I'm gonna end the video there. Hopefully this helped you make a decision if the Mavic 4 Pro is right for you. Right now, it's definitely got a couple issues, but it still is a great drone. If you haven't seen my video on 5 reasons why you might wanna get the Mavic 4 Pro, click that video right there. And if you've already watched that, check out this video right here, which is my initial review on the Mavic 4 Pro. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more Alaska content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.